Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. With a backup. This is Williams. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, here's Watson. And he checks this one down to Williams. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Incomplete. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Watson hands this to Foreman. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Now Foreman. And he'll get this down only to the 18. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Throwing, Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. It's Sims. Escapes it, and now off to the races down the right side. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Mayfield now. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll get it up the middle. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And they've stopped them on the first 2 downs. Obviously, this is an important play coming up here. I think it's more so for the guys on defense, because if they stop them here, I think they've set the tone for the entire game, how difficult it's going to be to score on them.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
It's a nice top spin on the
A little bit.
I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
And now out comes Houston. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Down.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Texans passing game in rhythm right now. Picking up another first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A carry for Foreman. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They stay on it now. This time it's Williams. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. It's Watson going deep for Hopkins. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
All right, here we go.
2nd down, Mayfield. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Third and short yardage. Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets him back for 2nd down. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's looking at his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in 3rd and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in 3rd and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
Detroit!
From the red zone now, Mayfield. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-3. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Fights loose. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Now, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. To throw is Watson. Trucks over him. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down.
Target.
To throw on second is Watson. Escaping the pressure right. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Richmond.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. In the backfield, the pass protect, and sometimes try to protect the QB, you hold.
And the key word, as you noted, protect, right? Sometimes you get out of position, get out of whack. It's just quarterback protect mode, and he got nailed for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Foreman. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Following the interception, Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Hey. Got three. Three down. Gone.
Mayfield on play action. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
All right, now, lucky 56.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit!
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Whitney merciless. In there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep, middle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. The drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at him.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 1st half. Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
From the gun, Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And those guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. Final play of the 1st half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Watson, he's going to take another shot here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Browns are going to get the 2nd half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the 1st half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. This quarterback now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. They go play action. Mayfield looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mayfield on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hodges. And he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion. But he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And this is caught at the 8. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 23 yards on the play. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. They'll give it to him up the middle. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
3rd down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
This is where you're probably weighing the score and the clock. 3rd quarter, so maybe it's a little early to start worrying about how much time is left in the game. But if you kick the field goal, you make it a 2-score game. A tough balance and a tough decision for any coach to make.
A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. Gonzalez now to add the extra point. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the lead is now 17-3. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Watson, off play action. Caught, left side, Hopkins. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunky yardage picked up there.
They'll run with Foreman. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Here's Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Here's Watson now on second down. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. There he goes, right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 40, 20. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? Watson now to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty. But this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good pickup there for the Browns. 15 yards.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Check 41. Gun. Gun. 3 on 3. Motion.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 26-yard line. And they'll go with a ground attack here and give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Mayfield now. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And Hill running right through it. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 37. A shotgun snap for Watson. Going up top. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 24.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Mayfield. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Browns on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. He'll return it from the 6. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On 2nd down, here's Watson going deep for Hopkins. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get 3 up to midfield. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Kid 33, kid 33.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They run it again with Chubb. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over at the 20. And here comes the Texans now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Travis Carey. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Gonzalez to add the PAT. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
They just want to put this one behind them. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Here's Watson, option left, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Now a toss play. This is Foreman. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down.
We got three. Three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go. Check. Richmond. Come back.
To throw is Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
One last throw here for Watson. And that will be incomplete. As time has run out on this football game. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Browns, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.